Hey there, Torrent Tigers. Welcome to week 5 of our in and around Michigan adventure. This week, we're talking about the Upper Peninsula, the UP. A lot of people forget about the UP. We'll talk more about that, but there's actually 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 different counties in the UP. But this week we're going to talk, instead of talking about counties, we're going to talk about the eastern side of the UP and the western side of the UP. So kind of splitting it into half here. As always, check out our in and around Michigan pamphlet for week 5, Upper Peninsula and Lake Superior areas. That would be right up here. So we've got the mitten and the bunny jumping over the mitten, whatever you want to call it. But on page 2, you'll find economy. We've got Western Upper Peninsula and Eastern Upper Peninsula, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So let's jump on into talk a little bit about both of them together. So if we look at population size for the Upper Peninsula, we see about 130 some on the eastern side and about 172, 73 there on the western side of the state. So the Upper Peninsula is right about 300,000 in population. So considering we're at about 9 million in the state of Michigan, 300,000 is very, very few people. So the Upper Peninsula, I think when we think of the Upper Peninsula, a lot of people think about tourism. They think about getting away, vacation, getting up in the woods, getting out in the woods, getting away from civilization a little bit more. We just think there's a little bit less people grouping together and living together. So we have less towns, less areas for, let's say, large shopping centers, large businesses. There's just not a need for as much of that because the population is lower. When population is down, economy tends to be down, and the need for economy tends to be down. So there is less economy going on in the Upper Peninsula, but based on its size and number of people, it's pretty similar rates. But if we jump down, we'll jump down to economy on both the east and the west side. And I like to take a look at the industries in the Upper Peninsula. And interesting enough this week that manufacturing, which has been one of our biggest industries all around our state, takes a back seat a little bit this week. You can see here on the eastern side of the Upper Peninsula, manufacturing is the third highest, but we see a lot more things like iron ore, pulp, paper, paperboard mills, some motor vehicle up there, and then just really small like tourism type stuff. You can see some ship making here, just different woodworking and things that go along with being out in the wilderness type area. And then we take a look at the western side of the state, and we see manufacturing jump all the way back to the 5th place for the week. But we still see on both east and west, we have our largest amount of industry in the human services here in the red. Both east and west. We see a little bit more in the west. You can see a lot of school staff. There's some universities in that area. So we have professors and all the people that it takes to run a university. We need janitors. We need office staff. We need administration. Just a number of different jobs. You don't have to be a teacher or a professor to work in a school. There's many, many, many jobs that are education related. That also includes hospitals, nursing homes, care facilities. When we look back on the east side here, we see a very big grouping of just under the 6.2% of school workers. We see 5.3% of hospital workers. So human services still in the most need in this area of our state in the Upper Peninsula. But then we jump right into here on the east side, our restaurants and our food service. Remember, there's a lot of tourism going on in the UP, so there's a lot of need for restaurants and food services. We see amusement and recreation and travel accommodations. A lot of people are traveling there for vacation. It's not really a spot that you pass through, it's a spot that you go to. So we need a lot of accommodations and recreation for travelers. That's the east side of the state. The west side of the state, food services is the number 3 spot, but we still see those needs for travel accommodations, things like that. Remember, the west side of the state is connected to Wisconsin, and then the east side of the state sees a little bit more travel across the water from like Canada and such. So just kind of 2 different ports, and that's a little bit why on the east side we see more manufacturing, because I think there's a little bit more trade going on with Canada and the need for the manufacturing on the east side of the state. But on both sides, we have a large number of retail opportunities. So you can see grocery stores surge. Again, people are up there on vacation. They're going up for a week, 2 weeks, maybe more at a time. They need to get groceries. They need to have places to buy food. Those retail shops are very important. Like we said, there's a lot of mom and pop shops, specialty shops when you get up north. So a lot of people their livelihood is to sell and make their own little products and items that they can sell as retail, home goods, things like that. And then grocery and food services is huge for when people are traveling. So here on the east side, again, we see grocery stores, retail sale, taking just a slight backseat to manufacturing, but not far. So Upper Peninsula, human services, food services, we've got manufacturing, and at least on the east side, manufacturing taking a little bit ahead of retail sales. And then on the west side, we have our retail sales taking the second place spot, food services in the third, and then manufacturing taking up the end. The last we see a jump in some agricultural and legal services. You can see some of the other jobs over here. Here's the metal ore mining. You can actually go up there and used to be able to go and visit the mines and actually go into the mines. It's a really cool thing if you get up there. The Paul Bunyan stuff and the manufacturing of wood, the logging companies, the things that go on up there, a lot of trees, a lot of that business up there as well is really cool. But we also see that jump in construction. Again, it's not as highly populated up there, so there's still a lot of land available. So people continue to buy land. They can continue to build up there, maybe have a summer home, a getaway home, a hunting cabin, whatever that might be. A lot of people like to travel up there and do their hunting, kind of get away, get into the woods, do some real hunting. So that's a big industry up there as well. So Upper Peninsula, really cool. I think people forget that it's not completely disconnected from anywhere else. You can drive straight into Wisconsin and get to Canada quite easily on the other side, ferries, different things like that. So some different industries up there, kind of a different way of life. I know every time I drive up north, I feel like I'm in a different place. Even though we're still in Michigan, I feel like I'm in a different place. The air smells a little bit crisper. I feel like I'm more in the wilderness, but just a great place to go and a great place to travel. If you can get across the bridge and go to the Upper Peninsula during your summer break, please go do it. My family's gone up there for years. My parents have a cabin in Ralph, Michigan, just south of Iron Mountain, and it's beautiful country. So love going up there. I love having a pasty when I get up there. Hopefully Mr. Terrence talked about pasties because that's a big UP food. I'm sure he did. And just some great, great, beautiful scenery up there. And there's a very similar economy to what we have here in the Lower Peninsula. It just is with a less populated area. So, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed Week 5 economy, talking about the Upper Peninsula. Some cool stuff coming on Thursday. Enjoy all the content, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, Torrent Tigers.